G'day everyone, I thought I was overdue for a sketchbook tour. In recent years, I haven't been able to do a lot of sketching, but because this year I had the honor of launching my Pro Sketch Pack, I got to dive deep. Let's just say there's quite a number of sketchbooks that have been filled out a bit. So I thought it'd be fun to look back at and reflect on some of the drawing side of things, but also some of the content side of things. Now, of course, before we get to that, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you so much to everyone who supported the Pro Sketch Pack. There is still time. Sales close in a day or two. There is a countdown timer on the website just so you know to make sure you haven't missed out. Go to prosketchpack.com. This is a really special pack. Over $200 worth of high quality and premium long-lasting materials for only $99. You can split that payment even further to make it super affordable, and I swear by everything in here. You get this premium dry medium sketchbook and this high quality spiral bound wet and mixed medium sketchbook. All the incredible art supplies, some of the stuff that's familiar but really high quality, and some stuff you will never have used before, all housed in a really premium carry case with a plush interior and protective, so your art can go with you everywhere with confidence and without getting damaged. Make sure to check out prosketchpack.com. Sales close soon, and once again, thank you so much to everyone who has supported it. It is an absolute direct support to the channel, so thank you. All right, sketchbook tour, shall we? We get to our first monsters from description video. Now, I had done some characters from description videos on this channel before. They were with digital art, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to use the sketch pack to show how the brainstorm sketching process can produce more targeted results. And these were the brainstorm sketches that turned into Cthulhu. And that video did really, really well. And that's the reason I was so excited about this, because I had done a lot of character design videos. I went through the character design process in a character design video, and it, relative to my channel, flopped, which is a real bummer. In this video, I took the prompts from the last character design centric video I did on the channel years ago. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it another go. That previous video didn't do very well. This video didn't do very well. But that's also an interesting comparison to a video that on YouTube says, this is a character design video, as opposed to a video that centers itself on replicating characters from the description in the original books and sneaks in the fact that it's a character design video. So this was again that same video where I did Cthulhu, but this was the Balrog. I am just so chuffed with the feedback. Like, everyone seems to really love my Balrog, which is so nice because I really love my Balrog. I was so happy with that. I handed it off to Alicia to help me with some overpainting. And as you can see, just in adding that little layer of digital intensity, you can take a refined sketch even further. You're not limited to your sketchbook, but you still have the benefit of being able to work freely and uninhibited in a really loose and relaxing and natural way in the sketchbook. Last from that video was my depiction of a White Walker. I was trying to anchor myself just to the concepts, just to the descriptions I was given, and producing a result as closely based on that as possible. And it has always mostly felt like fitting. Then I threw something wild and wacky in there. This is Jimmy Donaldson, AKA Mr. Beast. In this video, I'm gonna take the transformation from Jimmy to Mr. Beast to the next level. I'm gonna be honest, this was one of those videos thematically that's, you know, every now and then as a YouTuber, you make YouTube videos that you think will do well on YouTube because you're playing the YouTube game. This one didn't do well, and I was really just leaning into, you know, obviously using Mr. Beast as part of the clickbait. Didn't get the response I sort of hoped maybe. It is what it is. And I found a lot of fun in this really dumb concept of taking Mr. Beast, taking his clickbait face and stretching that out as extremely as possible until we ended up with, well, this, which of course I expanded into this monstrosity. And the final piece I did in that one was the Mr. Beast on the Beast. I think that's one of the things I love about the sketching process, is there's no wrong. You're sketching, and that's the right thing to do. There's a bunch of stuff here that I didn't use in content or make for content that was still using my sketchbook to think. I'm a visual thinker, and when I did the collab with Anthony from Ace of Clay, I had to recreate an entire classic McDonald's. So, you know, obviously the stuff like that, I find super helpful to just play it out in my sketchbook. I did the same thing with my Pokemon card video. I've still got it, don't think I've forgotten about this project. I am coming back to this. I can show you what I'm talking about because I sketched it here because I was thinking through the whole process in my sketchbook. These are all my scribbles and roughing out some rough ideas until I came came up with a refined concept for my Pokemon Battle Arena, that the two sides of Pokemon cards will open up like a briefcase and have a Pokemon stadium to play a game of Pokemon cards in. These are not extravagant and gorgeous sketch pages, but they're as crucial to getting to the final result as a refined, beautiful sketch is. So anyone who's getting into art and you feel like some of your pages are ugly, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, forgive my mannerisms, but honestly, the roughness is as essential to any polish that you might be achieving, because you have to go through the rough to get to the polish. And it's like a mantra for life, guys, you know? You feel like you're in a rough place, it's okay. You have to go through the rough to get to the polish. And if you learn to love the rough, then you're going to enjoy the entire journey to getting to where you want to be. Make sure to subscribe for more deep, personal insights on the meaning of life. Speaking of from the rough, I actually had a false start with my Cthulhu that I didn't show on camera. And it's worth showing that too. And I often, like, rather than erasing the whole thing, I actually like leaving the attempt in there because it's fun to look back at and compare where you started, didn't go, and then went, you know? All right, now we have another Monsters from Description video. This first one I also turned into a wet medium artwork. I did my final piece of this monster from its description, which it turned out to be Oni. Not that Oni, but Oni. This was one of the ones where I knew what it was while I was reading the prompt, but one of the fun challenges for me in this sort of concept is really anchoring hard on the prompts and trying to completely ignore what I think I know about the character. Third in that was the, I think it was the, not Yeti, Yobo, not Yobo. Yowie, the Yowie. Oh, by the way, this video, these prompts were replicated or given as a challenge to the artists over on Insert Art. Go over to the video on Insert Art. I'll link to it in the card and in the description. And speaking of Insert Art, let's go through Morgan's sketchbook, shall we? Talented bastard. This was his first time using the liquid graphite included in the Pro Sketch Pack. And as you can see, just for a first time, aside from the fact that he has incredible drawing talent, you just get such quick, awesome textures. And his first impression with it, as someone who's primarily a digital artist, he was pretty impressed and really excited to keep using it. And Morgan hadn't really used a lot of these traditional mediums before, including alcohol markers. And just like so quickly, you can see the incredible results he was able to slap out. And he and Alicia really enjoyed the different mode of sketching traditionally, because while they work digitally, there's a lot of parachutes and fallbacks. There's a lot of Control-Z you can use. And there's something about sketching that removes that from you, but also frees you up to be okay with the flaws that occur so that you can produce results like this that honestly, I feel you end up more proud of. There's less that you were able to lean on other than you and the paper and the material in your hand. I mean, come on. I just love going through someone's sketchbook and seeing, okay, there's the thumbnail sketch and there's just like scribbles of them testing the mediums and the intensities. And as you can see, Morgan's sketches and the way he sort of comes to a final result here is really cool, but super different from where Alicia ended up. In fact, I want to go through your sketchbooks. Let's do a competition. I am going to give you a monster as described from its original text. I don't know what it is, but try and do what I've described. Try and stick to just the prompts, produce your own interpretation and invention of that character, and show your brainstorming sketching process through to one final piece, and share it with me on Twitter. Use the hashtag MonsterDesignWithJazza. There you go, that one will work. All right, you ready? You're gonna sketch and then create a final piece of a monster that is 8 to 10 feet tall, with a human-like face, with an animal's snout, ears, and horns, or bird of prey's beak and crest of feathers instead of hair. Coarse, dark hair, not fur, oversized human hands, hooves, wearing dark leather, and long shirt of black chainmail. This is a hard one. Spiked axe, hooked spear, or scythe, like a curved sword, and the atmosphere is medieval fantasy. That is your prompt. To use that hashtag, there it is on the screen again. I'll put the instructions in the description as well as the prompt, so you can copy it, print it, and go sketch. This is, I said competition. So I'm gonna throw in 3 Pro Sketch Packs as prizes. I want people who make really unique, really well-crafted and thought out designs to have the same opportunity. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Check out Alicia's sketchbook. Alicia is another one of our amazing artists over on Insert Art. You've seen her here on this channel a multitude of times. I think this was her first use of the sketch pack, just playing around with some of the materials, which is kind of the best thing to do whenever you get something new. Trying everything, seeing how it feels, and then you instinctively start to develop what you think you might use it for. To go from swatching that and immediately for Alicia to slap that out and for her never to have used alcohol markers before is absurd. It's absurd, Alicia. And it's so cool that you can see there's such strength in some sketches and styles, but also really soft approaches as you sort of finesse your way to a result. And one of the things I love about the color combination that I've put in the sketch pack is you don't end up with any of the problems of color picking finesse that come with having a whole kit of colors. Instead, they become tools of accentuation. And then we have her final result. This is again from that video where they were experimenting with the sketch pack for the first time. She produced a bunch of thumbnail sketches and scribbles and ended up with this polished result, really, really high quality. This is total tangent, but I have to show you why I find this so cool. Just give me a second. I couldn't find them anywhere, but I did find an Alicia.
Subscribe to Insert Art.
How do you feel? I'm going through your sketchbooks.
I never agreed to this.
Ready? Wait for it.
That is my deepest, darkest artwork.
That is your deepest, darkest artwork. It is a very cool artwork.
Is my boo.
Oh, what was I actually going away to get? J. Scott Campbell's Rough Stuff books. Now, J. Scott Campbell does some pretty impressive refined artwork for comic book covers and whatnot, but it's actually his Rough Stuff art books that show his sketch pages. And obviously looking at the rougher workings of a much more skilled artist still feels really impressive. And it can be overwhelming or discouraging if you're trying to create refined artworks and you're looking at other people's refined pieces. Over the Christmas break last year, I had my prototype Pro sketch pack. I took that with me to a family holiday and it ended up with all of my nieces and nephews gathered around and drawing with me. I had a nephew telling me he was really discouraged by how he wasn't drawing like I was drawing. He was like 7 and I'm 33 and I've been doing this professionally for a long time. And if you're in those earlier stages and you feel discouraged sometimes, maybe you need to find a club or a community, even like this. Keep trying and have fun with the flaws that are gonna be there, but they're a part of you and your journey. And that's a really cool thing. Oh, we have, of course, my reverse coloring book attempt. Now, there is a reverse coloring book. We made our own, and the cool thing is we pummeled colors and water and paint into this wet media sketchbook, and as you can see, it handled it really, really well. It dries pretty flat. That was a really fun project, and some of these results worked really well. All right, we have Monster Design video number 3. So this was what ended up being Dracula. I actually was thrown off by the mustache in the description because I never pictured Dracula with a mustache, but there he is, and that's how he was intended, I guess. Then we have the Mind Flayer. This was a really fun one to take to a really polished place in my wet media sketchbook. And as you can see, I get to be pretty brutal in the wet media sketchbook. And last but not least, good old Voldy, which it's fascinating actually. One of my editors pointed out to me after the video that in the reveal, there's the movie Voldemort, but also like a statue Voldemort based on the book description. It was pointed out to me how closely mine resembled that statue, meaning I guess we both followed the original prompts as closely as possible and ended up in a pretty similar place. My Mario reboot, from Cartoon Mario all the way to my fantasy reboot. Luigi the Paladin, Toad, and of course, Bowser. It's so satisfying just to go through these pages and you can see the mix of ideation with a final, like, that's where I ended up. And that, my friends, is the end of my sketchbook. It's funny, I booked this video. I thought it'd be fun, like, to wrap up the sale of the PlayStation Portable. Literally accidentally said that. The Pro Sketch Pack is not the PlayStation Portable, but they're both the PSP. That's just happens to be. But you know what? They're both classics. This is the kit that really, if anything I've ever made, encourages people to accept an artist's mentality and also take pride in that. The Pro Sketch Pack is for sale until this weekend and sales close very soon. Go to prosketchpack.com, you'll see how long you have left. But more than anything, thank you. Whether you do get a Pro Sketch Pack or you're just joining in and watching me go on this journey and joining the community or joining in our competition for your crack at winning a Pro Sketch Pack, thank you. Thank you for making all of this possible and being a part of my journey. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see where the future takes us. That's it for this video, and until next time, I'll see you later.